Hello all. Now let's continue on the etymology of Bloyossh. So we establish that his rendering, his expanded and most accurate Hebrew rendering of his name is Beluy Yod Shasha, which will mean he who tears down the Yod decays. So this is a very, very powerful thing about Bloyossh's character and something that resonates with his original title that I had channeled. His original title as I channeled him was Bloyossh, the Hand of Erosion, or the Slow Hand of Erosion, which signifies a spirit and a power that dissolves, that slowly erodes a thing. As we said before, this spirit is the very downward force of destruction. It is the very force that destroys the glue and the structure. Let's say a castle that its bricks are all stacked up upon each other. Thus, platonically can be thought as one unit. All these different bricks, stones, even the inside furniture, the wood of the castle, platonically they are all glued into one form. Bloyossh is a dissolving power that takes this castle and breaks it into 1,000 pieces. Which this makes perfect sense in his Hebrew expanded rendering of his name as the one that dissolves the Yod, that tears down the Yod. Although Yod doesn't directly translate into atom, into specific unit, but Yod does mean indeed the spark of existence. As we said before, it is the first letter of the Lord. As we said before, the Yod is a spark. It is the first letter of the name of the Lord, of Tetragrammaton. Yod He Vav He. So you can think of it as a cone, like that sparks it. Bloyossh dissolves it. He makes that not happen. Now, in a more practical and useful sense, not so esoteric or mystical interpretations based on his name and his channel functions. His power can be invoked for various purposes which all allow the same principle of gradual, inevitable decline. Or he can fasten it. He can make it instant, in my case. If there's an obstacle that cannot be broken by force, Bloyossh ensures that it will deteriorate over time or increase its decay. Think about the walls of Jericho, how they fell by an invisible force. If there's an enemy who stands too strong to be defeated, Bloyossh can cause their foundation to weaken. As we said, he tears apart the Yod. He decays it. Beluy. He causes their foundation to weaken, their alliances to dissolve, their strength to slip away, their identity to dissolve, their minds to be scattered. In an intellectual way, he can theoretically make your enemies actually retarded, because if you think about it, Bloyossh is the force that makes Bina go back to Hogma or go back into separator. So he dissolves the intellect. He makes it decay, destroy its foundation. He can dissolve them to the point of nothingness. If there's a habit, a belief, or a structure in one's life that needs to be removed to resist destruction, Bloyossh erodes it, its hold, and making disappear as if it never truly was there. I experienced it because it destroyed many layers of my false self. And at one point of working with him, I was just like, fine. Nothing actually happened. I'm now the true self of a warlord spirit, not a spirit of sudden change. He does not deliver victory through direct confrontation. As we said before, he is not the one that makes the punch, he who throws the punch. But he's the one that ensures that once a punch was landed, he can make the impacted one to fall, to crumple. Think about the words of Jericho, how he resonates with Mambusek. He simply ensured that what is unsustainable will not last. His method can be impatience, but his guarantees finality. As we said, he can ensure that a thing will fall, but as slow. If a thing falls too slow, like him, he can ensure that their descent will be made faster. Bloyossh is particularly effective when dealing with things that resist direct removal, corrupt institutions, toxic relationships, unwanted attachments. These are things in his domain. If something is too strong to be confronted head-on, invoking Bloyossh will set up a process in motions that will ensure that it will eventually fade. It may take time, it may take days, it may take years or weeks, but once the Bloyossh is invoked, he can start the process of dissolution. His influence can be directed towards people as well. Those who stand in arrogance, believing themselves to be untouchable, often find that under Bloyossh's gaze, their confidence erodes, their power does not fall in an instant, but their foundations weaken, their influence crumbles, their position becomes unsustainable. No war is fought, no blows or exchange, yet at the same time they disappear. They crumble. There is no resistance against Bloyossh. You cannot fight him. You cannot defend against him. You can only recognize his presence and understand that his work is already underway. He does not remove quickly, and he can never stop. Because when the foundation like that boom goes away, then the whole structure falls. For those who embrace his power, he offers a profound lesson. Strength is not always about force. Control is not always same as direct action. Sometimes the greatest power is simply the ability to wake, to endure, to allow things to take their course. Bloyossh is not a destroyer. He is the patience of time itself, ensuring that only what is unshakable will remain. Everything else will fade. So this removes the false self. He peels the onion, per se. He collapses darkness into a singularity, into a black diamond.